Join Doctors Savanah Craig and Ronnetta Sartor as we navigate life beyond graduation. Real conversations about forging our own paths in our early years in our careers. There's a reason it's called practicing dentistry. All right, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Graduation. I am Savanah Craig, and with me as always,
it's Ronnetta. Happy to be back.
What are we talking about this week?
So this week is a fun week. This is our life update episode. So it's been maybe about a year since our last episode. To jog some of y'all's memory, the last time we recorded this, I was about a year into practice ownership and had just started my journey with the Dawson Academy's mini residency. And Savanah had just joined her private practice back in Ohio after leaving residency and was a few months in at that point. So what has life been like for you since that time?
It feels like yesterday for some reason. You know what I mean? Like so much has happened, but also time is crazy. But yeah, so still at the same job, which is awesome. Super happy with how all of that is going. Sedations are rocking and rolling, doing about 4 to 5 a month, which I think is a good number. Taking lots of CE. So I think the biggest chunk of that was Implant Pathways. So we had a lot of implant experience in residency, but I had the opportunity to take the course. My boss felt really strongly about sending me because a couple of the other docs have done pathways. So always good to have us all on the same page in as many ways as possible. So went out to Arizona for a week, had an awesome time, and thankfully people are accepting and implant cases are rolling. A lot of the cases that I extracted and grafted sort of in the beginning of practice are now ready for implants. So sometimes you just have to be patient and wait it out, but we're rocking and rolling and having a great time.
That's great.
What about you?
Oh man, it's been a whirlwind, but a lot of things have happened. So in May of this year, 2024, I finished the residency, the mini residency with the Dawson Academy. So it's completely shaped and changed the way that I practice. And just from our new patient intake, all the way to treatment planning, it's just kind of opened my eyes to looking at teeth and what's happening around the teeth and how the body, relates to the teeth, and just being a more comprehensive type dentist and having a lot more discussions and conversations with patients of how their health impacts their teeth and vice versa, and being an advocate for them to not only treat what's wrong with their teeth, but treat what's wrong if they have any other health or systemic type ailments. So that has been really rewarding for me, to kind of look at the patient beyond the teeth. And it's not to say that I didn't do it before, but I think I'm more intentional about it now.
Kind of like a more like a framework to work within.
Right. I have a system and a process that I go through with every patient, so that every time I talk to someone, it's the same thoughts that come to head, same checklists, and all of those things. I'm also into the second year of being a practice owner, and that's been pretty cool to see all of the processes and systems come together and kind of starting to see it run like a well-oiled machine. And Savanah and I were laughing before we got on because I have a veggie tale to talk about, as you all know. I love to garden, and I had an experience in my garden recently that I thought parallel to dentistry, but also parallel to life. And a couple of years ago, I decided that since I love asparagus so much, I would try to grow it. And asparagus is one of those plants that takes quite a while to grow. So I was outside, pruning my plants and, doing what I do out there and just having a good time. And, something told me to look down. And I looked down, and after 2+ years, I see my first asparagus spears coming through the ground. And I told Savannah, I was like, I had a epiphany. I had an aha moment while I'm in my garden. And I'm like, wow, what are the odds that like I'm finally feeling like, I'm getting the hang of practice ownership, and, everything is working together, the processes, the systems, and the people in my office. And, you know, it's moving on its trajectory. And it's just like gardening, and dentistry can be just like life too, where you plant the seeds and you water and you water and you water, and then you prune things a bit and get rid of some stuff, and you keep adding the fertilizer and you keep watering. And then you look up one day after doing all those things, and you realize that the harvest is here, and everything that you've worked towards, everything that your team has worked towards is right on the horizon. And so we laughed about it, but I was like, I mean, this might be why I love gardening so much, because, beautiful things come about, and it's just the beauty of the process too. And sometimes the process is not beautiful. It's not pretty. Like I'm out there. I don't take pictures in my garden because I'm like sweaty and and nasty, and
the hard
I take
work,
the hard work. And I know as dentists, a lot of you feel that same way when you're in a hustle and bustle of the week, and you're having team meetings and doing all those things to like elevate the practice so that you can help elevate patient care. So that's my veggie tale, guys, and I hope you like it.
Someday, you get to see the fruits of your labor in your garden and in your practice. I think that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you're doing so many crazy cool things, not just practice ownership. You've got some extra letters after your name now with ACD.
Yes,
which is exciting.
That's been an amazing experience, and it's almost, I'm going back to my garden. I'm going back to my veggie tale, Savanah.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
But I'm going back to that because, while you're doing the hard work, you don't realize who might be looking at you and seeing you. And I didn't even know I was being nominated. So it's an honor to even be in the name and be a member or fellow of the Academy of the College of Dentists. And so I'm just grateful.
Yeah, I think it's so special how it happened, because I mean, obviously I'm a big fan of yours and I consider you a friend and a mentor. But you're so humble about all of the awesome things you're doing. So I think it's cool to get recognition when you least expect it. Because I think there's a lot of, with social media and things like that, all of us are trying to get validation, myself included. So it's cool when you're just nose to the ground doing your work and people recognize how awesome you're doing. So you deserve it. Totally.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Always.
I appreciate it.
Also tell the people you've been doing some of the awesome coaching at Ignite with the practice. How has that been going for your team and you?
That's been awesome. So when I was telling my VeggieTale story or my VeggieTale, pretty much I talked about the systems and the process and the people. I have been fortunate to have the people. And so we've spent some time working on getting the systems where they should be and our processes where they should be. And now the three are working hand in hand and it just works. But I think what's been most important is like how we said sometimes when people are on the outside looking in, they can see things that you can't when you're in it. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's been amazing to have a team that helps coach you who are on the outside and they're like, okay, well, have you thought about doing this? And it can be something as simple as like the other day we were talking and they were like, well, why don't you like have your practice management bridge like rectangle health on an iPad? So like if a patient has to go out or do something like that, you could just have them pay on an iPad. And I'm like, well, we have an iPad and we're paying for rectangle health, but I didn't think to like put it on the iPad and just
Yeah.
make that one a level of convenience, not only for the patient, but for our team.
Yeah.
To just make it easier. So it's been amazing. So anyone out there that's struggling with, finding the right people for your team, finding the right processes and solidifying it, but more importantly for processes and systems, like holding people and yourself to accountable to those systems and processes, definitely check out IgniteDDS's coaching. If you're interested, you can always reach out to me. I'm more than happy to let you know about my experiences and chat with you one-on-one about your experiences as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest parts of now coming up on a year of practice for me is some things are just flowing now. There's not as much like there's always going to be new things that you're like I don't know what's going on here, but 90% of the things I've seen it before. I know how to there's less new stuff now. So,
Yeah.
and the team is used to me and things are flowing a little bit better, which is really nice.
That's awesome. So what's on the horizon?
Oh
What's
boy.
what's new? What are you into right now that when we come back a year from now we'll reflect on?
Yeah. There are some opportunities with partnership or those sorts of next steps of growth in the practice. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Feeling very like, so I don't know, adulting is a construct. I want, we've talked about this. So I feel like you feel that way of maybe with the practice and those sorts of things of, am I really in charge? Can I make this decision? How do I know what's the right time or step or all of those things? And it's awesome to have really cool opportunities in front of you and be able to say yes to things. But I think it's always a level of scary of, I don't know. I never honestly thought about life after residency. That was my trajectory. High school, college, dental school, residency, be a dentist, but who knows? So it's exciting and scary to get to make those nothing is forever, but it could be forever decisions. But as far as other things, hoping to do some endo CE, some Botox CE in 2025 and get some new and exciting things under my belt. So those are the goals because I absolutely despise root canals. And That's always, you and I always laugh about that, but still trying to figure out if I hate them because I hate them or I hate them because I'm not as confident in them. So I'm trying to push myself to do more endo and take some courses related to that. I think a big goal, I would like to get my fellowship in the Academy of General Dentistry. So working on getting more CE hours, and I need to just buckle down and take the exam.
So a piece of advice I had from dentists that had done it before me was the closer you are to being out of school or out of residency, that's when to take it, because you can take the tests whenever
Yeah.
and then just get the hours later. And yeah, luckily, when I was studying for mine, it was like when the world was kind of shut down, so I had nothing better to do. But
Congrats.
right, but study. But you'll do it. You'll
I
do it.
know.
And a lot of it, when you start reading and studying, it'll come right back to you. So
Yeah. I just need to do it. So this is my accountability. Everybody check in with me, make sure I'm actually signed up for an exam and I start studying. What about you? Are there still big goals? I feel like you have checked some really huge things off of the to-do list. So are there still big goals on the horizon, or I don't know, when do we start just coasting and living
I think I
seeing the
would.
fruits of the enjoying the harvest?
Yeah, I think I'm probably not gonna coast for a very long time.
Shocker.
Yeah, I think it'll maybe be in retirement, or when I retire from life and I'm dead. Who knows? But I just feel like my to-do list or my checklist will continue to be a ever flowing thing. But maybe the list will change in terms of nature
Sure.
of the items on the list. So
Sure.
um at the top of the list right now is to grow the practice and continue to provide um, the continuing education and coaching that my team and I need to have everything we need to excel.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. When I purchased the office, the previous dentist didn't do any implants or any of that stuff. So I finally have equipment and implants to start placing. So I'm excited to get back into it.
Heck yeah.
Um,
That's really
where
cool to, you have those skills and you did a lot of it and then you took a little time off. So I think that's something really cool about dentistry, is that you can get back into it. And so I'm excited for that journey for you.
Yeah, so we'll be talking. We'll be talking more about it. Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also it's nerves, because you're like, okay, I know it'll be like riding a bike again once I start,
Yeah.
but it's just like I haven't done it in like 2 years, so
Yeah.
like I want to make sure that my skills are up to par. Um, and I think more so just growing the comprehensive dentistry type stuff. I know that this upcoming year I'll be learning a lot more about sleep. Not to say that I'm gonna actually, start doing sleep appliances and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm planning to learn as much about it as possible, because we're supposed to be screening, and I will say I'm screening a lot more, but I think it's a lot more for me to know, and the more that I know, the more that I can educate our patients and we can get them healthy.
Yeah.
So those are probably my top three. Well, yeah, top three things, and then the fourth thing would probably just be on a personal level, just make more time for myself. And as we all know, I struggle with actually planning for my time off. But I'm trying to be better, and I already have like the time that's already off planned. So with my time off, I want to try to just have time off and reset.
That's awesome. I feel like I'm doing the opposite and taking a page out of your book of taking time off to do nothing, because I'm always like, all right, we've got 2 days. Let's go to 7,000 places. And Adam is like, do we ever rest? I'm like, no, it's fine. Or I'm guilty of like, so this endo course is like in Santa Barbara or something. I'm like, well, then we can go and we can do California, and Adam can come, and he's like, just chill out. But I have no chill.
I was gonna say you heard my story about Disney and
Yeah,
FAGD
I
and
know.
needing a vacation when I came back. So
yeah, I did not learn from your mistakes. I got to make that mistake on my own, apparently.
It's okay. I'm here to support you once you do.
When I say, you told me so, and I understand now.
It's okay. We all have to do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, this is the other side of mentorship. You can learn from their mistakes, or you can make the same mistake and then have somebody to commiserate with. All right, folks. Well, let us know what is new in your life since season 1, and what you are looking forward to, what cool CE you're taking, what good self-help books you're reading, all of those things that we love, and we will catch y'all soon.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Beyond Graduation. If you enjoyed this week's episode, be sure to share it with a friend. Connect with us on social media, Savanah Craig, DDS, and Dr._Sartor. And remember, you are not alone on this journey.
This episode was sponsored by the Dental Residency Guide and the Beyond Graduation ebooks. These ebooks can be found at IgniteDDS.com/ebooks.
Thank you so much for listening to Beyond Graduation, brought to you by IgniteDDS and Future Dentists.